Okay, so a couple of years down the road, you are leaving, you're leaving a gig.
Okay.
You were performing, um, you're performing at, there's this place in town in Austin that opened up called Flat Earth Pizza. Flat Earth Pizza, Flat Earth Pizza is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a pizza place that is run by flat Earth conspiracy theorists. And their whole thing is like, they go, look, to be honest with you, we didn't think the earth was flat until we started making pizza all the time. And then there's just something about maybe looking at all these flat surfaces and these flat circles and realizing that like maybe there's more out there. It's owned by these two brothers. Their names are uh, Randy and Dale, and they run Flat Earth Pizza. And so you go in there. There are like a place that you can order, and you sit down and shit like that. But all the tables are perfect circles. All the pizza they make are perfect circles. Like, to be honest with you, the first time that someone goes to Flat Earth Pizza, they it's not uncommon to look down at the pizza and for a second being like stunned, like into silence for a few seconds. Because to be honest with you, Brittany, you have never seen as perfect of a circle as when you went into Flat Earth Pizza for the first time to perform.
Okay, they're either really talented or they got a mold.
And you ask them that, and they get like, you ask the server that, you're like, yeah, like by the way, like, is this like a mold? Do you guys do this naturally? And their faces turn white and they walk away.
Okay, what's making them flat? Do they tell me?
They refuse to even get into it.
Oh no.
Yeah. So you were doing a show there. It was being it was bought out by this group. It's like a flat Earth group, basically. They
Okay,
they they
but
meet
like the type
together.
of, is it like the racist type of flat earthers or like people that are like just believe in flat earth?
Sure. So Randy and Dale, they don't seem, I mean, they don't seem like they have like crazy racist thoughts about flat Earth. It's not like that kind of thing where it kind of ropes in people of a certain type. But who knows? At the end of the day, you can't really know someone's heart, and you're only there
Yeah,
for like 45 minutes anyway. So you're like,
that's
fuck
true.
this. So the name of they're doing a convention. It's called FlatCon, and FlatCon is being held at Flat Earth Pizza, and you get booked to perform.
Oh, because
Your
they
whole
think I'm
thing,
skinny because I'm flat.
and so like that's what you tell yourself as you're like driving there. You're like, yeah, that's why they booked me, and you just drive in silence. So so they reached out. They found you on one of those like commuting for hire websites or whatever. And so they hire you. They're like, look, I'm just going to tell you straight up, we are flat earthers. If that's going to be an issue, and you're like, whatever, because they're paying you $17,000 to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for you're going to go up for like a half hour.
At 30 minutes at a pizza shop?
Yeah, but it's like it's for a group of people who know there's going to be a show. You know what I mean? It's
Okay,
not like
yeah,
they it's not like people who are just there to like eat pizza. You know what I mean? And then there's suddenly
yeah.
someone shows up and they're like, "Hey, modern relationships are hard." And they're like, "What is this shit?" These are people who know that they're going to see a show. And so when they tell you it's $17,000, you're like, "Whatever, absolutely." And so you go, you perform, and it goes really well. They actually they give you the $17,000, and then they give you like an extra an extra $35 as a tip. As a tip.
Wow.
So it's a check for $17,000 and then 35 in ones.
Cat and
Yeah.
ones. Wow.
Yeah. But like these ones are the crispest ones that you have ever felt in your entire life. Like they like they're so crisp that you know logically this makes no sense, but that it feels like they're worth at least $2. That's how crisp these
Got some
dollar bills
crisp
are.
dollar bills.
Oh yeah. So you're like, all right, whatever. And so you drive home and excuse me. And you're glad that it's an early night. Like it was an early show because you have to wake up early in the morning to start your new job.
What's my new job?
You are working animal control for the city of Austin. So
Like I'm the one with
the net.
the net and the thing that like grabs their necks.
Yeah, basically. But so the way but it's a little more those are really more symbolic. Like you have like you've learned that there's other ways to take care of this. The
I
way that the way that you started doing this is so you're working with this guy. He's definitely like he's an older guy. Um, you know, he's overweight, not necessarily significantly, but he's definitely kind of overweight, got glasses and stuff, big barrel chest. Used to be a boxer when he was a young man. And
okay.
and like one time you heard him get mad at somebody on the phone. Uh and for a second you were like, holy fuck, like this guy has at least like definitely has one more fight in him. You can tell
Okay.
from his tone of voice. You're like, okay, this guy, like he doesn't get mad at you or anything, but you just overhear him getting mad at someone else, and you're like, holy shit. And so his name is Joe, Joe the Animal, because when he was like a boxer, his boxing name was the Animal. So you are his new like apprentice, basically. You're an apprentice animal control
By
person
the animal.
by the animal himself. The way that
You
this
know,
all good.
this is just funny because I once dated a guy that was a boxer named Tiger.
And you say that to Joe, like you're like, oh, and he goes Tiger, and he goes, huh, and he goes, that rings a bell, and he describes him like physically perfectly. And he's like, is that guy? And you're like, yeah, and he goes, that guy's a bum, and
He is.
you guys just laugh and laugh. And he like talks to you. He's like, I can't believe you dated the Tiger. That guy fucking sucks at boxing, dude. He's like, and he'll like tell you about how bad he is at boxing, and you're just like, holy shit, I can't believe he knows him. And so Joe the Animal, you met him because you were a few years down the road. You have gotten really into like axe throwing.
Okay, I could see that.
Have you ever been to one of those places? You ever
Yeah,
you could see
I
yourself
was
dipping your toe into.
I was really bad at it. Most of the time, it like bounced off.
Oh shit, really? I don't think I've ever actually done it. Now that I'm thinking about it, but so you got really into it. You just found that it's a really great way to to let off some steam, I guess. You're like sometimes you'll have a day, and you'll just have a fucking day, and you'll just go to the Axe Park. Is what they're referred to as. It's like so. It's this place. So there's this new Axe Park that's opened in Austin, and basically it's a park that is owned by an axe throwing company. They're called they're called Axe Me No Questions. So Axe Me No Questions is they own the Axe Park, and you were there one afternoon, and by this point, you've gotten very good at it.
Yeah.
And so you're out there and you're doing this thing where they have a not an obstacle course, but they have a thing where they'll have like targets show up and you have to throw your axe at them. And so you're standing in the middle of the park and suddenly like all of these like bullseye things pop up. And you don't even look. You just fucking throw or like to your side, throw it over your shoulder, throw it over there, and you hit every single fucking one.
It's like my ninja star.
It's exactly like having a ninja star, except it's an axe.
Yeah.
Um, you don't know this, but from above, if you had a bird's eye view of all of the things, all of the bullseyes that you hit, it would look just like a rocking pair of boobs. But you have
I'm
no idea. I mean,
incredible.
yeah,
I'm
like from
incredible.
above. Yeah. So if someone was like flying above and looked down, they would be like, "Holy shit!" Like it actually later on in the afternoon, and you have no way of knowing this is your fault. It actually does cause a plane to crash
Yeah, I mean, pilots get
because
distracted.
yeah, the pilot was flying by and he was going on like no sleep, and he just looked down at these just like rocking set of tits, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And just the black box when it's found, the last words that they hear the pilot say are like, "Dude, look at those fucking and then
I love the idea that people are just burning because a man couldn't look away from tits.
yeah, it feels deeply like later on in the day
People
after it
are gonna
happens.
blame people are gonna blame there not being enough air traffic controllers for the fact that a guy could not look at tits.
Later on in the afternoon, after there's a like when the crash happens, you do feel you have like a deeply metaphorical feeling a wash over you later on, but you have no idea why. So you're throwing these axes and you're fucking kicking ass. And Joe the animal sees this. He's there with his family. You know, he's been married like, 35 years or whatever. He's got like, kids in college and or out of college and shit like that. And he sees that and he walks over and he's like, "How did you do that?" And you like look at him and you just go, "Man, I just do it." And you flick your cigarette. Like you
Flick
just
my
flick it up.
cigarette and just cough a lot after
And you
and
just
walk away.
and you just walk away, yeah, just like coughing your lungs out. Like that's why you flicked it away because you're like, "Oh, this just hurts really bad." So he ends up hiring you to work for animal control with him because he was just so impressed by your axe throwing abilities.
Oh my gosh. And so I axe throw to kill the animals.
He's like, "Look, it very rarely will have to come to that, but maybe yes." He goes, "Look, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Brittany, there's been a few times when I've had to deal with like rabid animals. And yeah, all I have to," and he looks at you and he goes,
You know,
all I,
sorry,
good.
go ahead.
He looks at you and he
Oh,
goes, "All I have to know about you," because you say to him, you go, "Look, I don't have any kind of background in animal control. Like I'm not sure what to do here." And he's like, "All I have to know about you is that when the moment comes, you won't hesitate." And you're like, "Fuck yeah,
wow.
Joe." You're like, "Fuck yeah, Joe the animal."
I was gonna say, I love the idea that I'm like, cops are too trigger happy, but I'm just too axe happy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like I
and
just accidentally kill a lot of innocent animals for reaching for a banana.
so you guys, tomorrow is like it's your first day out in the field. For the past few months, you've been training with Joe. You've been kind of like bulking up a little bit, lifting
Okay.
weights and stuff. Like Joe has you inspired because you look at him and you're like, this guy is like clearly in his like late 60s or something, but he still is like this jacked dude, you know?
Hmm.
He's jacked the way that there's certain dudes who they look fat, but they're actually jacked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not like cut or anything like that. They're just like the strongest men ever. And that's what Joe the Animal's like. You actually see him knock over like a tree one time.
Oh my goodness.
He's a strong dude, yeah.
Too
And
fast for the
you,
environment.
yeah, he kind of looks at you and he's like, he kind of goes like, shh, and you're like, I got you. Like you would never snitch on Joe the Animal. And
Okay.
so over those weeks, you kind of have like developed like a bond with Joe, where
Okay.
you feel like when you guys are doing your training exercises, you feel like you're learning to like anticipate his next move and him for you as well. So you guys at this point, you guys have put together a lot of like really intense like like attack moves.
Okay.
So he does this thing, like you guys have this one thing that you guys train on. It's called the up and over. And he does this thing where he puts his fingers together to form like a thing that you can step on. You know what I mean? And like you run and you put your foot on it and jump over his head and throw a fucking axe and you hit the bullseye every goddamn time.
So are we like competitive at this?
No, you guys are like a well-oiled machine and you guys are ready to, to deal with some fucking animals.
Okay.
You feel ready. So you go to sleep that night, you dream of a howling void, and in the morning you wake up and Joe the animal is waiting outside. And you're like, hell yes, let's do this. So you go outside. He's got this really big you remember in Dumb and Dumber where they had that truck that was like in the shape of a dog or whatever.
Hmm.
So he has someone like that, and on the side it says Joe the Animal, and there's a photo of him when he was a young man, and he's like flexing and stuff. And you're like holy shit, and so you get in, and that morning he's like all right kid, the first thing, our main thing that we're gonna do today is so there is a part of town that has a really bad lobster infestation. And so no one really knows where they came from or how they got there. But there's a part of town, there's like a 3 block radius or whatever, where they wake up and they walk downstairs and there's just a bunch of lobsters. And some of them, they're able to get rid of pretty easily. But some of them are like running around and like hiding and stuff like that. A few of them seem like smarter than the average lobster.
Yeah. Like how?
Um, so like when you guys first get there and you walk in, one of the lobsters, like you see one of the lobsters looking out the window. He sees you guys get out of the truck, and you see him turn. He like clacks his claws together to the others, and they all like scatter.
Oh, there is a leader.
Yeah, he's actually he's the leader is of this lobster infestation is like it's a significantly large lobster, like significantly larger than the other lobsters.
Oh my goodness.
They call
Like,
him
what
Red
do they call
Claw.
him? Wow. Red Claw?
The other
Scary.
lobsters. He's known as their leader and he's known as Red Claw because he's a regular lobster or whatever, but his claws are, you know, the reddest thing that you've ever seen in your fucking life. And so, and you start like walking towards there and you see him and you go, Red Claw. And Joe the animal looks at you and he goes, what? And you're like, that lobster, his name is Red Claw.
Wait, how do I know that?
That's what he says. He goes, "What? What are you talking about?" And you go, you kind of like touch your head and you're like, I don't know, but I know that lobster's name is Red Claw, and I know where they're hiding. They're in the basement. And he's
Oh
like,
my,
hmm. And so you guys go into this person's house or whatever, and he's like, I don't see any lobsters everywhere. And you're like, I'm telling you. And so you guys go down into the basement, and all the lobsters are like hiding down there. You guys, Joe the animal has a special anti-lobster gun that you guys use, and you just mow these fuckers down.
oh wow. I was hoping I'd use the axe, or we could have steamed them and eaten them.
No, I mean you thought about that, but something tells you that like these aren't eaten lobsters, if you know what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying. Yeah. And so you guys are driving back to, your home base or whatever. And Joe the animal's like, "Hey, how did you know that earlier about the lobsters?" And you're like, "I don't know. I've never had that kind of feeling before." And he's like, okay. Over the next few months, you and Joe the animal are on a fucking tear. You have noticed, and you're not really sure how else to explain this, but you have some kind of like mental link with the animals that you guys are hunting. And so even if it's you guys aren't there to like kill them or anything, you're there to just, make sure they leave or whatever, get a cat out of a tree or whatever. You have this weird like mental link with the animals. And it's a thing where Joe knows not to question it. Like he doesn't quite understand what it is, but all he knows is you tell him something, he goes in, and that's what the deal is. So he knows to like listen to it by this point. So you call it you you call it your Britney sense.
Okay.
So you'll be like you'll be like
I'm getting my
you'll
Britney sense.
yeah, you go,
My
my
Britney
Britney sense
sense
is
is
tingling. Yeah.
tingling.
And even though it doesn't feel like a tingle, it's just like a thing that you say. And so over the next few months, you guys are like kicking ass to the point where like you guys are going into, the city or whatever to, do your work or whatever. And the other animal control people are starting to become like noticeably jealous. And like you feel like they've always been jealous of you, but now you're like, no, these guys do not like us because you are putting these guys to shame.
Yeah, because we're good at our jobs.
Right. And people go like, "Joe, like, how are you doing this?" And he's like, "It's all thanks to my new apprentice." And you're like, "My name's Brittany." So, so you guys are, after a few months of this, you guys are nominated for the Animal Control Employees of the Year. Every year, the city of Austin will do this thing. They give out awards to the animal control people, and it's like this lavish dinner that's held. Uh, and if you win the animal control employee of the year, you win a free two week vacation to anywhere in the world.
Oh my goodness, where do I choose?
And you also get, and it's all expenses paid, and you get a $45 gift card to the Darden Family Restaurant Group.
Oh my goodness, not Darden, not Olive Garden and Eddie V's, and I guess Chewy's.
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. So you guys are like nominated for it. And you kind of have to, it's kind of like being nominated for an Oscar. You kind of got to like campaign for it a little bit, you know? And
I'm
so
doing interviews, a press tour for
you and Joe the Animal are doing like your version of a press tour where you're going to like different employee.
malls.
You guys
High
do an
schools.
you guys do an appearance at a mall called the Ruth Bader Ginsburg Memorial Mall, and you guys do this thing there where you guys are like, look, this is the public can ask questions, so like we're here to answer your questions about why we should win Animal Control Employee of the Year. And people do. Most of them are like, they ask you like, oh, like, hey, where's the food court? Or like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find J.C. Penney, and you're like, oh, it's actually just like right over there. But do you have questions about like the animal control stuff? And they're like, they're like already, walking away.
Yeah, gone
Yeah.
naturally.
The night of the award show, you are you're like, you're nervous, but you feel very hopeful. You
Hmm.
feel like this is yours. I mean, when you
Do I
look
write
at
a
it,
speech?
you would you
Would
if you
I
thought you might
prepare a
win?
speech?
Yeah, would you?
Maybe. It depends. I mean, if this was very important to me, probably like an idea, some
Okay,
keynotes of who to
sure.
thank.
Okay, so you kind of have some stuff in your head that you're gonna say. Like you kind of have some bullet points. You know that you're gonna lead it off by saying, first of all, I want to thank God. Psych. You know that that's gonna be how you you start it off. Other than that, though,
Okay.
you just have like some bullet points. So you are at
Do
the
I
it's good.
do I finish by apologizing to God?
Hey man, that's up to you. It's between you and God.
That's so funny.
So you go to this like award dinner or whatever, and you're sitting down. And by this point, you've like gotten to know Joe's family and stuff like that. Like you know his wife and like his kids and stuff. And he's like, I got to tell you, Brittany, I've been doing this for 40 years. I've never nominated for this. I work with you for just a few months, and look what happened. He's like, this is really cool. I just wanted to take a second and say thanks for all your hard work and your weird mental powers.
Yeah, because I'm psychic with animals.
You're like, totally. At one point, you're like, you get up to go, grab a drink of water or something. You walk over to the bar, and there is, like a water station or whatever. So you get yourself a water. You turn around, and standing in front of you is this guy. He is without a doubt the baldest man that you have ever seen in your fucking life.
Oh my God, is she shiny?
It's shinier than what you imagine like the gates of heaven to be.
Okay.
And you've seen some shiny dudes. You've done, stand-up comedy for several years. You've been around a lot of bald men. And so this man is puts them all to shame, the level of baldness that he has. The idea of hair being anywhere even near the top of this guy's head feels blasphemous, even more blasphemous than your whole thing about thanking God and then taking it back. So, so you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then you notice that he has eyes of a deep blue ocean.
Oh my God, could I drown in them?
You feel like you could drown screaming in them. He kind of like smiles a little bit, and you see that he has like rows of like razor sharp shark teeth.
Oh my God, it's a shark.
But all of that goes away when you see the suit that this guy's wearing,
Mhm.
because it is without a doubt the sharpest fucking suit that you have ever seen in your life.
What do you
You
mean
look at
sharp? Like nice or like it's sharp.
Like it's kind of both. Like you look at it and you imagine like if you like breathed on this guy's suit, his suit would like cut your breath.
Oh my gosh.
He says to you, he goes, "Hello, Brittany. My name is Ice Bones Jones. I'm head of communication for the Lanalax Corporation." And he goes, "Look, tonight, here's what I need you to do." He's like, "I need you to betray Joe the animal."
What? Why?
He goes, "Look, I work for the Lanalax Corporation, and it is a very long story that I frankly don't have enough time to tell." And he kind of like laughs a little bit at that, but it is the most joyless laugh that you've ever heard in your fucking life.
Mhm.
And again, done stand up comedy for years. You've heard some joyless laughs.
True.
He goes, "We have a vested interest in him not, not winning this award." He goes, "Look, all you have to do is renounce Joe the animal to me 3 times, and I will give you $35 million." He goes, "What do you say?"
Oh wow, for $35 million?
He goes, $35 million. And one thing that's a little odd is that maybe you didn't notice because of how just fucking sharp this guy's suit is. It's noticeably colder around this guy.
Okay.
What do you do?
For 35 million?
$35 million.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna renounce him. Give Joe the animal 1 million so he doesn't have to work and I feel good about it.
And he goes, "Oh, no, no." He goes, "That's the catch, is that you can't give it to anyone. It's all yours. You have to like renounce Joe the animal 3 times to me, Brittany."
But once it's in my bank account, I can do what I want.
And he goes, "Yeah, I guess it's true."
So I renounce him.
So you look him right in his cold, dead blue eyes, and you renounce Joe the animal 3 times. And he goes, he's like, "Thank you, Brittany." He holds out his hand. He goes, "Pleasure doing business with you." Do you shake his hand?
Probably not.
So you
At
just
least
kind of
not
like,
until the money's in my bank account.
so you hear like a cha-ching sound come from your phone that you've never heard before. And you're like, "What the
Okay.
hell?" And you pull out your phone and it says, "Deposit successful. 35 fucking $1 million." It says fuck.
Okay. So then I do shake his hand. But I shake his hand very firmly in a way that he feels like he is smaller.
Sure. So you go to firmly shake his hand, and when you shake his hand, like for a second you can't move your hand because your hand has gotten colder than you thought was possible.
Mm.
And you're like, "What?" And then you look down, and now your hand is like completely encased in ice. And you go, "What?" And then you notice that the ice like very quickly starts like moving up your arm and it covers your entire body. It saves your face for last. It like covers your neck and covers your entire head. So you're just like completely frozen. And he goes, "Pleasure doing business with you." And then he punches it and it shatters into a million pieces and you fucking die.
Oh my God.
Joe the animal ends up losing everything in a divorce afterward.
Oh
Like
my God.
yeah,
No.
he ends up on the street and is dead within 7 years. But yeah, and so after your body is like shattered and everything, it ends up like melting and stuff. So your body is never found. So there's no funeral.
jar.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fucking dead. You betrayed Joe the animal and you died for it. Way to go.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I never choose the crazy option. I chose it this time. I was like, what's gonna happen if I choose the bad side, the doc
Oh,
side?
you fucking die.
Got it. That's a lesson. That's a life lesson to be learned.